Imagine, if you will, a dark, deserted road lit only by the dim glow of a distant streetlight. A chilling breeze whispers through the trees, carrying with it an unnerving sense of solitude. A solitary figure, our protagonist, trudges along this lonely path, the crunch of gravel beneath their feet echoing ominously in the silence. The stillness of the night is broken only by the distant hoot of an owl, a solemn reminder of the protagonist's isolation. As they journey on, an uneasy feeling begins to creep up their spine, a sensation of being watched. Each rustle of the leaves, each shadow dancing in the corner of their eye, amplifies this growing unease. Suddenly, a chilling laugh slices through the night air, freezing the protagonist in their tracks. A figure appears from the shadows, their face hidden beneath the cloak of darkness. A stranger on this deserted road, at this God-forsaken hour. The protagonist's heart pounds in their chest like a drum, their breath hitching in their throat. The stranger's laughter grows louder, more sinister, echoing off the empty street and sending a shiver down the protagonist's spine. Their mind races, filled with 1,000 dreadful scenarios. But it's the silence that follows which proves to be the most terrifying. The laughter ceases, replaced by an eerie quiet that hangs heavy in the air. The protagonist's fear reaches a fever pitch as they realize the dreadful truth. They are not alone. They were never alone. The stranger, the laughter, the chilling sense of being watched, it all pointed to one horrifying fact. The protagonist was never alone on this dark, deserted road. As the stranger's haunting laughter fades into the night, the protagonist is left with a chilling realization. They were never alone on that dark, deserted road. Have you ever felt a presence in your home, a feeling that you are not alone, even when there's no one else around? Our second tale of terror takes us deep into the chilling realm of the unseen. Picture this. A family, brimming with dreams and expectations, moves into a new house, a place they hope to transform into a warm and loving home. But as they settle in, a cold shiver runs down their spine, a whisper of unease that never quite disappears. The house, with its creaking floorboards and shadowy corners, seems to have a life of its own. Objects move mysteriously, doors swing open unbidden, and an eerie chill pervades rooms even in the heat of summer. The family, initially dismissive, chalks it up to the quirks of an old house. But as the days turn into weeks, the incidents escalate into a crescendo of fear. The laughter of children echoes through the empty house. A spectral figure is glimpsed in the corner of the eye, disappearing when looked at directly. An inexplicable dread grips them, a primal instinct that screams danger. The light-hearted banter of the family gives way to hushed whispers and sleepless nights. Their home, once a haven, transforms into a theater of the uncanny. The children, once full of joy, now clutch their blankets in terror as the darkness of night falls. The parents, once hopeful, now find their dreams shattered by the chilling reality of their situation. The climax of this tale arrives with a bone-chilling revelation. They are not alone. They have never been alone. A presence, unseen yet palpable, shares their home. An entity from beyond our understanding resides in their midst, an unseen tenant in their home. And so, they live on, their once joyful lives overshadowed by the ghastly reality of their unseen roommate. Their home, their sanctuary, is not truly theirs. They are but tenants, sharing space with an entity from a realm beyond our own. As the truth dawns upon them, they realize that they are but tenants in their own home, sharing space with an entity from beyond our realm. What if a forgotten relic of the past surfaces, bringing with it a tale of horror and dread? Imagine a young woman, we'll call her Jane, venturing into the dust-filled corners of her family attic one lazy Sunday afternoon. Among the cobwebs and forgotten memorabilia, she stumbles upon an old, weather-beaten diary. The binding is frail, the pages yellowed with age, and the ink faded but still legible. Jane begins to read, her curiosity piqued. The diary belonged to a distant relative, a woman who lived in the same house nearly 100 years ago. The entries start off as mundane, recounting daily routines, small joys, and the occasional heartache. But as the pages turn, the tone shifts drastically. The entries become darker, filled with fear and paranoia. Her relative writes about strange occurrences around the house, of shadows that move on their own, whispers that filled the silent nights, and a presence that felt both familiar and frightening. Jane feels a chill run down her spine, the words on the paper painting a picture far removed from the peaceful home she knew. With every entry, Jane feels a growing sense of dread. The diary hints at a horrifying secret, a sinister past linked to her own family. It talks of a curse passed down through generations, a burden of terror that every family member is destined to carry. As Jane reaches the final pages, she's left aghast. The diary reveals a horrifying connection between the past and her own life. The shadows her relative wrote about, the whispers, the presence, they're not just figments of a troubled mind, they're real. And they've been a part of her life, lurking in the background unnoticed. In the silence of the attic, the woman is left to confront the terrifying truth. The horror she feared was not just in the pages of the diary, but in her own bloodline. The forgotten diary, a relic of the past, had surfaced to remind Jane of a chilling truth, that sometimes the most terrifying horror stories are the ones we carry within us. The world is filled with stories that send chills down our spine, stories that remind us of the thin line between the known and the unknown. As we journeyed together through these chilling tales, we encountered the fear, the mystery, and the unexplained that lurk in the shadows of our world. First, we stepped into the shoes of a hapless soul who experienced a nightmarish encounter, a chilling reminder of the lurking dangers hidden in plain sight. The mere thought of such an encounter brings an eerie silence, a silence that speaks volumes about the fears we refuse to acknowledge. Next, we explored the unsettling tale of the unseen tenant, a story that makes us question our sense of safety and privacy in our own homes. The unseen tenant's presence, undetected yet palpable, reminds us of the unseen threats that could be lurking in our very own abodes. Lastly, we delved into the forgotten diary, a haunting narrative that forces us to confront the reality of our past. It's a chilling testament to the horrors that can be buried within the pages of history, waiting to be discovered, waiting to be understood. Each of these tales carries a unique flavor of fear, a distinct echo of the unknown. They remind us of the mysteries that are yet to be solved, the stories that are yet to be told. And as much as they frighten us, they also pique our curiosity. So we encourage you to share your own eerie experiences, your own tales of the unknown. Because in sharing, we not only confront our fears, but also contribute to the collective understanding of the mysteries that surround us. As we delve into the darkness, we realize that sometimes the most terrifying stories are not those of the supernatural, but those that lurk in the corners of our own reality.